Hey people, good night. Peace and love to you all. I greet you all in peace and love. I hope everybody is doing fine. Wherever you are, I hope you're staying prayed up, keeping the kids covered, enjoying the holidays. I'm gonna tell you all a story tonight. This story is about me, Natalie. Some of the stories that I've been telling you all is about Natalie, but I've been using different names and stuff. But this one, we're going to use the name Natalie for this story. So there was a time in my life where I was dating this young man. This young man, at the time, I didn't understand spiritual things. I wasn't religious. I was very young. But there's some men that you're going to meet, yeah? Some men, they identify your strength and your power. And they will try to break you down in different ways. Some of the ways, it comes in domestic abuse, where sometimes you meet a man and this man just want to beat on you. He want to tell you and command you what to do and beat on you. They use different methods, some of these narcissist men, these weak-ass men. They use different methods. I've met different ones who've used different methods. Some of them, they use the method of domestic abuse. Some of them, they use the method of witchcraft. I've met one of them, a Ghanaian, one from Ghana. He used the method of witchcraft because he knew he couldn't try the abuse. But tonight, we're not going to talk about the Ghanaian one. We're going to talk about this one who is from Trinidad. This person was from Trinidad. And this person just used to want to beat me for no reason. Well, of course, I used to fight back with everything I got. But I would select when to fight back and when to be quiet. Because it's a psychopath you're dealing with. Yeah, ladies, it's a psycho you're dealing with. And ladies who've been in DV, domestic abuse. Yeah, ladies who've gone down that road, or domestic violence, right? If you've walked down that road, you would know that there is a time you could tell that person to F off, and there's a time you just need to be silent. Because you know this psycho you're dealing with, and maybe he's standing in the kitchen next to the knife or next to the hammer, and you know it's a psycho, so you would know when to speak and when not to speak. This was the type of psycho that I was dealing with at the time. But I was young, so I didn't realize that all these things, it's a manifestation. It shows that the life they had, who they were brought up with, the people they were brought up with, their parents, their ancestors, grandparents, whoever, the auntie, whoever brought that person up. It shows what they're dealing with. And their frustration then, it starts manifesting when they go into relationships and stuff. Whatever they're dealing with, they carry it on into the relationship and they start dealing with you. They start taking it out on you. So ladies, if you're going through all of these things, many of the times, it's nothing to do with you. It's what they're carrying from their mother's house, from their father's house, their auntie's house, their grandmother's house, whatever house they're coming from. So yeah, it was like that. This guy just used to beat the living life out of me. This guy was like a psycho. And it was like every time he would realize that you are elevating, you are doing something good, you know you're going to get a cut tail. So there was this one time we had traveled to the UK. He had traveled before me. I traveled after him. And we was working somewhere in London. I was working, so he decided he needed to get that same job what I was doing. So he got himself inside the job. It was like an agency, and an African woman was controlling that agency, so it was dodgy. So he got himself in the job just to make it hard for me, so he can watch what I'm doing, who I'm talking to on the job, what friends you have, who you communicating with, monitoring spirit. He got a job to be a monitoring spirit. But at the time, I am young, I'm not thinking all these things. I'm stupid at that time, young and stupid. All I know, why is he coming here to work in the same place? Why not just, you're thinking, he's coming to be an obstruction, but you're not thinking the monitoring spirit, the demonics, you're not thinking on that level. You're just thinking on the surface. So the guy came there to work and stuff, and I'm working, of course. I'm being professional and talking to other colleagues and stuff, and just being professional. Nothing fishy, nothing dodgy. This guy would one day tripped off. This video is not going to be too long. It's going to be very short, but we're going to get to the point. This guy one day tripped off. Maybe he's there working and he maybe see me speaking to the same colleague more than the other colleagues. Yeah? So he just tripped off one day and he said to me that he was going to mark my face in front of everybody, embarrassment in front of everybody, start cussing and tripping, telling you, calling you out of your name and all sorts, and just start attacking. And he said that he is going to mark up my face. He's going to disfigure my face. That nobody ain't going to like you. And whatever and whatever. And he did mark my face. I had 2 superficial marks on the side of close to my ear. On that side, this side, what I'm showing here. There was 2 superficial marks in the corner there. At the top of my ear. Very superficial, tiny. God protected me, of course. I can't remember what he used to mark me, whether it was a knife or razor, whatever. But obviously, it was a sharp weapon because it did catch my skin, and I still got the mark to this day. But it's very, superficial. My hair, it hides the mark. Every mark. As they say, most women, strong women who've been through domestic violence and all these different things, every mark tells a story. That mark to the top of my ear, this is the story I'm telling you. This guy there stripped off in this people business place where I think we was like packing shelves. It was like a new supermarket. Let's say the supermarket, I'm just giving it a name, is Sainsbury's. And they are now opening this Sainsbury's branch. So you wiping the shelves and packing the shelves. They got all the shopping in there and stuff. And everybody's working because it's an agency. The woman who's running the agency is an African woman from Nigeria. She's dodgy. Everybody is looking to make their money. We who was working, we also didn't have right paperwork. So everybody was cutting corners and trying to make a money to live. But this boy with his demonic spirit from his mama's house, he decided he is going to trip off. He's threatened me that he's going to disfigure me and mark my face. Well, as I say, I sure you all can hardly see the mark. But if I was to put on light and go very close to the light, the mark will be there. If I was to, spread my face, you would see it. You can hardly see anything. But later on in life, this guy, he was like a narcissist, a madman, a psychopath, a crazy man without understanding, without wisdom, just a psycho. Yeah? Just a psycho. That's the best way I can put it, a psychopath. So later on, he carried on that, I separated from that person. And the person got married to somebody else. That person who he got married to, he used to beat the woman and stuff. And that woman, she ended up getting rid of him quicker than I did. She was wiser because she was older. He didn't slow down, he didn't change, he didn't check himself. He continued with this psychopath behavior, and he walk in or run in or fly in to a man. He fly into a man. And a man, remember I said he wanted to disfigure my face? He said he threatened me to disfigure my face. Well, a man disfigured his face in the end. Right now, his face is disfigured. When I say disfigured, I mean disfigured. He got one eye. Somebody took a whole one out. Disfigured. karma is a bitch. And leave all things in the hands of God. No matter what wickedness people do to you and stuff, of course, you try to defend yourself and get out of the situation. Try to defend yourself if you are in such situation that I'm talking about. Try to defend yourself if you can, when you can. When you see that it is safe to defend yourself, you defend yourself. And when you can exit, soon as you can exit, you call the police, call the ambulance, get out, one way or another. Grow wings like an eagle and get out such situations. But if, for any reason, you tell yourself this person really took advantage of you and stuff, leave them to God. Because in the end, I have lived to see. I'm almost clocking 50, almost half a century on the earth. And I have lived to see that nobody gets off at all, especially those wicked ones. They don't get out easy. And if they have children, they will live to see the children suffer and pay for what they do. I have lived to see it. So I believe in the spiritual laws. I love the spiritual laws. I believe in the spiritual laws and the things of the spirit. Because sometimes people think they're getting away by doing wicked and evil things to others in the physical, but spiritually, bet your bottom dollar. Spiritually, they're going to be dealt with, and they are being dealt with in the spirit. You just don't know it. They walking around and they showing off to you and they flying all over the place, but you don't know they're dying with brain aneurysm. You don't know they're dying with cancer. You don't know when the night reach, they can't sleep. When you are sleeping, they cannot sleep when the night reach because God is dealing with them. The same demons they raised up from the grave is dealing with them. I have seen it, my people. So if you are a victim out there who have been of anything that I have been talking on my channel, if you are such and you have experienced these things, keep your faith in God. Don't give up on your faith in God, because that is your victory. That is your power. You might not see it straight away, but you will see it eventually. And just, was it today or yesterday, God gave me a revelation. Prayers and fasting, it's like planting seeds into the earth. When you plant a seed into the earth, you're not going to see it be fruitful tomorrow. It takes months. It takes months before it comes through. Do the same with prayers and fasting. You will see results. It might not be immediate. Sometimes it is immediate. Depends on what the situation is. But sometimes you might think nothing is happening, but believe you, something is happening in the spirit realm. You're causing ruction in the spirit realm. And normally, when you cause the ruction in the spirit realm, you will see the manifestation in the physical realm. Don't give up, my people. And I will be back with part 8 of my stories with Nefertiti and Jezebel. Those characters, Nefertiti and Jezebel. I'll be back with those stories, part 8. Somebody reminded me just a couple days ago. I had a reminder to continue the stories, and the person even reminded me where I reached, because I kind of forget. I would have to go and check the channel. But the person even reminded me where I reached, part 8. So will we come back with with the stories of Nefertiti and Jezebel? That story is very long, and there's many episodes in that story to tell. But as I said, life is very busy, and Natalie normally minds she business first before she mind anything else. But all this business that I'm telling you all here, this is to do with God business. So we will be getting to it, and it will be continuing. We would not be stopping, because, we try to make these stories a bit humorous and stuff, but it's deadly. It's real. It's serious. It's based on real life episodes. These things are based on real life. But I try to, make it light by having a laugh, making it a little bit funny here and there, but it's based on real life, my people. These things are for real. Stay prayed up, stay blessed. Yeah, it feels like weekend, but it's only Tuesday. Y'all stay prayed up and stay blessed. I'll try and make the videos, all of them, very short so that y'all can take in the videos, okay? Stay blessed, my people. Peace and love to you all. Bye.